skipping through. But the streetscape assessment, how do the streets look? Do we have enough bike racks and places to sit? And in general, we're looking pretty good, except for trash on Broadway. Another thing you probably noticed that at certain times of day, there is a pretty serious trash issue. Also, a key finding is, it's endemic is tagging in the neighborhood. And to the extent that it's that the graffiti is not visually pleasing or is, gives negative messages or is specifically tagging, is an issue that impacting feelings in the sense of beauty, particularly along Broadway. So it's something to think about, to talk more with neighbors about and the businesses about whether that should be a focus of some efforts. And then, yeah, we could, you can look at this later, but yeah, let me keep going. So we surveyed like about a couple hundred of the business owners, or over, I think it was like 150 business owners, to get a snapshot and for them to weigh in on some of the challenges that they're facing. And the biggest one is foot traffic. That's the bottom line, is having shoppers come through the doors, and then marketing costs seeming to be cost prohibitive. In general, the comments are that sales in the past 2 years have really dropped off, and that pretty much coincides with the election. And it's just, and as everyone knows, there's just people aren't spending money, feeling confident about spending money right now. In addition to the challenges, some of the overwhelming support when asked, what kind of resource do you think might help your business, is marketing support. So 27%. So this is a great opportunity. We've already seen some success with some coordinated marketing through the Merchant Alliance, but it's something to look at more closely and that we'll be doing. We also surveyed consumers and neighbors. One of the great things to find out is people shop pretty frequently. Spending could be, 50% spend more than $26. There are a lot of students, so some of the spending, that might have been skewed a little bit. In general, when people talked about where did they go shopping outside of the neighborhood, it's Trader Joe's. Like, that's where people go. So it was mentioned pretty frequently. And in terms of feeling safe and wanting to shop or go out at night, it drops off pretty significantly, the feelings of safety in the evenings. So the consumer survey was just so great. I mean, people were just like, yes, so the question was, what improvements are needed? What kind of businesses do we need in the neighborhood? Definitely groceries, definitely an improvement in the quality and price of food was mentioned. More restaurants and more bars also mentioned, as well as some of the ideas here. And spaces for socializing that don't cost money were certainly mentioned. The survey was done in the winter, so people, had that on their minds. So any questions about that?
Would you mind going back to the pie chart that you had with like the biggest needs that folks had, like in terms of marketing support, financing? Yeah. Are these were these conversations that folks on your team were having directly with merchants, and were they like, did most of them have like single issues? Were there issues where, like, were there stores that you spoke to or merchants that you spoke to who had more than one issue, 3 or more issues, or was it just?
Yeah, it was a print survey and a digital survey.
Okay.
In in my experience, someone else did the majority of the surveys, but I've done this surveying as well through the Merchant Association and just participated in it. And this was the one area where, sometimes when you said like, what could improve the neighborhood, people will say everything, and click everything. When it came to what do you need to grow, most businesses, as you kind of are implying, like had something specific in mind and maybe said one or two things. Uh, eh, so yeah, I mean, but that's a little anecdotal. Uh, but it wasn't like everyone said, "Oh, I need everything." Like people had something in mind, and it might be also, you're taking a survey and somebody's stressing about something specific. But on the other hand, the fact that marketing support was mentioned, I think is significant.
Yeah, yeah. And I was just say, can you remind us when this survey was taken and for how long that survey was available?
October through the end of December, I believe. It may have gone a little later. I don't know if it was on here.
Okay, okay.
I have a question. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Michael.
And I was looking for the little hand to raise. I guess I didn't see it at the bottom, so I'm sorry for barging in like this. Um, the this sort of issue is near and dear to my heart. We try to do a lot of economic development, in our sort of corner of West Harlem. And to be clear, just so that I can understand the parameters, this really went like from Manhattanville to Hamilton Heights. It really doesn't include Morningside Heights or that part of West Harlem.
It's from the area is 135th.
130. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that at the beginning, but okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
And
and
then,
St. Nicholas Avenue is
yeah,
included.
yeah, those corridors. I guess the one with the most stores is the Broadway corridors, and those percentages are a little bit concerning. Even though the percentages are smaller along the Amsterdam and St. Nicholas, they don't have nearly as many stores as Broadway. But my other question to you is, um, uh, who were your partners, if you had any, in the community that help you with this, especially in reaching the sort of Spanish language stores?
Right. Well, the survey was the survey process, we had, I guess I think it's 150 or 180 store owners, and then a little bit more in terms of neighbors. And it was pretty much split between primarily Spanish speaking and English speaking responses on both ends. And it was done by staff.
But by Sab, so
Yeah.
in the Harlem One Stops endeavor, I'm just curious to know. I know there are various merchants associations. I think one was sort of chartered by the Women's Merchants Association, Kenya Abreu. Another one that was sort of trying to be led by Corey Ortega. And I think there's a Dominican store association or bodega association.
There
And
is better, yes.
yeah, yeah. And so my question too is how many of the sort of outside organizations did you sort of either partner with or
Yeah, that's what we're doing now. So for the survey will continue. Let's put it that way.
Mhm.
Contractually, this commercial district needs assessment was very timed. And this process now, meeting with you and then continuing on, we see this surveying and conversations and input as being part of the ongoing process. But for our city contract and for this, wonderful document, this is the data. So I'm presenting the data as already kind of completed. And the Bodega Association, it's a great, can be a great partner moving forward. And those partnerships, just, moving forward. But this data is from, existing merchants and direct, with consumers, direct with the business owners, no third
And,
party.
And one final question, because this is an issue in particular in my sort of again in my sort of, which I'm at on near the sort of little mini transportation hub on 137th Street on Broadway, and I
Important
was
transportation hub.
pardon me.
Important transportation hub.
Yes, it's an important one.
It's reopening. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Mm.
if you know the area, you know that Hamilton Place has maybe like about 10 vacant storefronts running along Montefiore Park, and
Yeah.
then there are over 40 that I counted from 135th to 145th, because I had uh, I was applying to an SBS grant too, and I did my own sort of informal survey, and which I made part of my application. But for nightlife in West Harlem. But one of the things that our issue that we come up with that sort of hinders um, economic development, especially retail, local businesses, is and I don't know if this is in part of your statistics anywhere, the number of nonprofit social service organizations in the area,
Yep.
um, uh, uh, which we had made a resolution a long time ago in Community Board 9. I don't think anybody remembers that we were at the time super saturated with these
Hmm.
kinds of organizations, because it's sort of bringing an element into the community that's very, very difficult,
Yeah.
and brings a lot of challenges. In my particular area, and again on Broadway and 100 between 136, 135th, and 139th Street, this is something that it's a challenge for us. Uh, I'm also a landlord of a building, and we have 5 commercial storefronts, including a Dunkin' Donuts, the notorious Dunkin' Donuts between 136 and 137th Street. And I cannot tell you, how drug dealing and the drug addiction problem running up and down Broadway, especially at this half, is really, really making it very, very difficult for local merchants to succeed. It is a safety issue, it's a quality of life issue, but probably more to the point, and with respect to your report, it is one of the greatest inhibitions of economic development that I think we have, especially along the Broadway corridors. So I was wondering if your report either underscores that, or is that what you found? Is that going to be in part two of your sort of assessment? The real need to sort of mitigate
Yeah.
the number of social service organizations coming into the neighborhood, and then also having the city, in some real palpable way,
Yeah.
address one, the drug dealing, which is a police matter, but what is not a police matter, and I'm speaking about getting the real much needed help to the people that really need it, is not the homeless people on Long Broadway, because they're not homeless. What they are people with mental illness and drug addiction, and they need that help first. And so I was wondering if your report, and I've seen other reports by Cuff and other organizations are who underscore or highlight this issue, and for some reason we at the community in our community board, it's never really brought up as one of the main impediments of community development and also economic development.
Um, oh, when it comes to this report, underscoring the challenge of the substance people suffering from substance abuse is not addressed directly. With the tools that are prescribed by SBS, the report kind of leans towards solutions related pretty strictly to a little bit more infrastructure. However, we are, and I'll kind of jump ahead, we are moving into the phase where we're specifically reaching out to property owners, including nonprofits and social service providers. to talk about, just to talk about economic development, to find out about their plans, to see about marketing the area and the like. And so I think that, Michael, is where, and in this next phase of community engagement is where, we can really, see if there are more tools. I mean, with the Merchant Association, I will say that relationship with the precinct has been good. When it comes to the businesses on Broadway, I'm super hopeful that reopening the subway station. I know that the business owners are excited and hopeful that will help some matters. But when it comes to the individuals and the drug dealing, specifically, it tends to, in the experience I hear from the business owners is, it just moves around. So, yeah, I apologize.
Thank
I
you,
don't have a
Michael,
better
for your
response.
question. I'm gonna go to Heather. Heather, your hand is up.
Thank you so much for taking my question. I am wondering, and just please confirm this because I'm not sure if I heard it correctly or not. Can you please explain how the data was collected? Was it in person or was it all electronically? And then my second follow-up question is, what outreach was provided to vacant storefront owners in order to capture the data?
The vacant storefront, vacant vacancies and the property owners or real estate brokers representing that property, that is where I'm focused right now. Although we did send, I believe Shay sent letters to all of the property owners with the survey. The survey, which I can share with everyone, although we're going to bring it in-house to add some more questions, some of the things Michael mentioned, and some of the things that you all suggest. The surveys were digital. It was a mix. It was digital. Sometimes it was in person. I can't tell you like kind of how, I know when I did a survey, I would, have a conversation with the owner and kind of type it in. Is there something about the survey process that you would specifically be interested in weighing in on?
Yeah, I'm
as we
just
move
wondering,
forward?
yeah, how was it disseminated? I mean, I'm a
Oh.
vacant storefront owner. I don't believe I received a survey
Okay,
or any contact.
okay. Yeah, I mean, it was walked, it was mailed, it was walked, store by store. So if you're in a vacant storefront, if you could share your contact information, love to follow up with you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
didn't receive anything by mail. I mean,
Huh,
did the survey
okay.
go out to the community board or was
It
it
went out through the
sold
community
online?
board. And again, there were two. There was the merchant and then the consumer survey. But thank you
Okay.
to the community board. It did go out through the community board as well. So I'm sorry it didn't reach you.
Okay, all right, so if you still need information or people to fill out the survey, I guess you and Heather can share information through the chat. Gregory, go ahead, yeah.
Hi, Jen, this is Greg. I just have a quick question about, and just in terms of transparency, would it be possible to just get a list of the actual businesses that answered the survey and what their answers were specifically? Would that be possible if they?
It should be.
Because I'm just saying, we have other things that kind of align with this survey that I would be intrigued if we could get that information that will kind of make everyone's world a little bit better in terms of us being able to actually be of service.
Yeah, I mean, I
to
can't,
the
I
survey.
wouldn't be able to share that, identifying information because the business owners weren't asked, and we'd have to go back and ask them if they want it public. But I can give you really detailed,
No, because I mean, it would just be a lot easier in terms of like potential things that we have going on to kind of have these conversations moving forward. If that would be possible, but
Yeah, Jennifer, if you can't give us like individual storefronts, it would be great to have a sort of more detailed breakdown of the
Sure.
needs by block or by, you know, by
Yeah.
specific small neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
sure.
subsections within the neighborhoods that you were in.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
just so we can sort of like hone in on all of the needs folks have.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
same goes for consumers, right?
Yeah, the consumers, yeah. Well, I'll give you, yeah, I'll give you the
It
details.
could even be like, I don't know, it could be a heat map.
Would
it could
that be helpful, Gregory?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
So, also Jen, talk with you in, this is just the community board. We are all together trying to improve the economic, well-being of this community. So even sharing the name, I mean, Ewan has been here so many times, you know, we've all exchanged information. She's even attended our business meeting that we had, business conference that we had last year, so it's
Yeah,
all
I was
about
actually-
sharing. To make the community better. Question I have for you though is, do you think in the future you might do some type of mapping to match organizations, or sorry, different businesses with other businesses that have the need that they're looking for? You know, something that'll
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I will like jump ahead and invite you all, to, on April 15th, we're, and it's kind of, starting small, but, one thing we've learned is that businesses that want to promote their business, it takes a lot to form the relationship with their other, other business owner and, get the sign up in the store and everything. So we are trying to specifically facilitate those partnerships, and maybe come up with some creative ways to do that. And in terms of like those connections, I mean, one great example is Printing Depot, which does a lot of work in the neighborhood, between signage and printing services. So he and I go out and Omar and I go out and do visits and kind of business development together. We find it pretty productive. So yeah, I mean, our directory, we do have a business directory. It's not comprehensive, but because I launched it with mostly the restaurants and bars, but that's being updated. Our business directors on our website at hamiltonheights.biz. And I think our merchant meetings are a great way to get to know some of the business owners. We have a newsletter, we have a great database for email exchange, and our WhatsApp. If you haven't joined our WhatsApp, please do. It's for business owners specifically, and there are about 65 business owners on the WhatsApp who chat about everything, about how to, just really a mutual support network there.
oh, what's your WhatsApp? I need to join that, but I have to commend you with the notices that you sent out, the text messages. Perfect, even if I can't make it, but it's just a great marketing tool. What is your WhatsApp? I'll try to join that.
If you could text me at 646-543-6205, I will send you the link.
Jennifer, if you can also send a link to us and we can send it to everyone here.
Okay,
so that we
that's
all
great.
have access to it. Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be wonderful.
Is it
Jennifer,
possible for me to take another like 3 minutes?
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes. Because I hate to like skip over. I just want to be sure. Businesses, the community, everyone loves community events and wants more. And, Michael, we have amazing resources in the neighborhood. So to the extent that we can connect those community events with the businesses, that's right in line with what the survey results says. And, I think what we've all been striving for over the years.
Would love to.
Yeah. In terms of next steps, as I mentioned, reaching out to property owners and real estate brokers and trying to get some marketing going on some spaces, as well as just find out what the opportunities are for storefront improvements as well. Churches, there is a Senate bill, if you're not familiar, that will hopefully loosen up the regulations related to having to churches, the 200 foot rule where you can't open a full licensed bar within 200 feet of a church and a school. If you disagree with that, it certainly has just as the churches have and social services have impacted business development on Amsterdam Avenue. But this is one potential solution. So if you could check that out, that would be great. So our document, as well as the presentation, will describe the strengths, some of the challenges in the neighborhood, as well as the opportunities which we'll be pursuing, hopefully with this committee's support and input. On May 5th, we are specifically bringing nonprofits and nonprofit property owners together to talk about their space planning and how they can support commercial revitalization. So if you have any recommendations of nonprofits or property owners who should attend, please let me know. I appreciate it. And just in general, thank you, Heather. I look forward to talking with you and have a relationship with you as a property owner, and same with you, Michael. And if there is an interest, I would love to be involved in a business recruitment committee or a welcome committee for new businesses in the neighborhood. And I'm happy to organize that with the committee if that's something that's in your bandwidth. So that's something, an ask of you. And that's it for me. Thank you.
You can do that. One more.
Jennifer, I just have two very, very quick questions. One, how many businesses that you contacted through mail or in person, how many of them didn't respond to the survey? Like what percentage of total businesses in the district
Did not.
did not?
Did not. Well, I mean, everyone technically, right, received
Right.
mailed flyer, an in-person visit with a
Right.
flyer, and so more than 2/3 are,
More than-
I
okay.
wouldn't say didn't respond. I would say, in my opinion, and I came on board in this project just this past month to replace the prior program manager. Moving forward, we hope to get those numbers up, certainly.
Okay.
They don't have that.
Would you be okay with us, would you be okay with sending over this presentation just so folks in this committee have it?
Absolutely.
Okay, great, thanks.
And
Thank you
I'll
so much,
follow up
Jennifer.
with everyone about the, some more details that you could maybe share with Gregory and all of you related to the merchant survey.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Appreciate it. Thank you for putting the presentation
Thank
together,
you.
too.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Wonderful.
Take care.
Thank you, Jen. All right, so that's great. We now have a quorum. So, Gregory, thank you for coming.
Of course, I have
I have a quorum. So we can do official
I
work.
gotta get up work, please.
That's not work. Okay. All right, so meeting is called to order. I have a quorum, let's take a look. So back to your agenda. Do you wanna add anything to the agenda, or the agenda is fine? Please move a motion to adopt the agenda. So you move, Clifford moves, and someone second. Thank you, Gregory. All right, take a look at the minutes. It's up there.
These are last month's minutes.
Take a look to make sure everything is correct, and if there are any corrections that need to be made, please let us know. Otherwise, a motion to accept minutes will be ordered.
So we're gonna edit it regarding your attendance at last month's meeting. And just move that around, make sure you're there. For the adoption of this.
So what happens is that the minutes come here, we approve it, and then we change it, send it off to. All right. At least you're lucky. All right, any motion to approve the minutes with any necessary correction? Give you more time to read it. We need Jada. Somebody.
Yes, and then.
You moving the
We
motion?
discussed, no, I forgot, if we have to add those little details.
Yes.
We, that meeting in March, we create an ad hoc, committee.
For the West Harlem Piers. Okay.
That was the meeting that Greg ran to join us.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Or he called it in the car.
Yes.
So Layla Hall, Wayman Whitting, Clotilde, Yuan Chin, and Ira Gershenhorn all said that they were interested in being in the West Harlem Piers Committee. Is there anybody else?
No, that's about.
Okay, that is somebody else. Okay.
All right, the motion to accept the minutes, with the necessary corrections. But did you move? Gregory, you second? Oh, thank you, let's move forward. Okay. Okay, we're going to the subcommittee reports before we go to the action item where we have to go on the red zone. So, West Harlem Piers,
Yeah, but we did not, I don't think we met.
Yeah. So Andrea Brecker was made the co-chair of the chair of that committee. She's unfortunately not here today to give us an update. If folks have anything they want to add about what they want the committee to look like, I think it would be a good time to maybe talk about it a little bit more. But next steps for that committee are for Drea to work with Victor and us to put together the committee and establish yeah, Drea Brecker. Yeah.
Prayer. I guess.
Yeah.
We should be,
Yeah. So we just want to look at monthly meetings, bi-monthly meetings. Things like that.
Discussing, we didn't know monthly.
Yeah. Or every 2 months. Yeah.
This name, West Harlem Piers Park. Are we having in-depth conversation? Joyce could tell you about the parks and how they spent that money in parks and not on the piers. So we need to get back on that little subject.
Okay.
okay. Any other suggestion of what, the terms of,
I think something we talked about a little bit last month was also whether we want this to be a subcommittee within the Economic Development Committee or an ad hoc committee similar to how strategic planning works. So if folks have any other thoughts on that, we can also talk about that.
And I don't understand the difference in the two conversations. One's a sub in here and the ad hoc is here.
Well, the ad hoc, everyone sort of joins that no matter what. Maybe they're within the community board, yeah, but the subcommittee within, yeah.
That's clear, that's it. It's all it's I'm clear, thank you. I think probably ad hoc.
I was gonna say, any over to you.
Okay. Strategic planning task force, Greg. When was the last meeting that the strategic planning committee has?
And we haven't had a meeting since last year. Detail and how did I know communication, but what's manageable.
I think it's a meeting every 3 months.
2 months? I think it's either 2 months or 1 month.
Yeah,
right?
but we were trying to be as spoken with Chelsea, we have to set up a date, so once I have the exact date, I'll be sure to,
Okay. Do you know if there's anything that they're working on that maybe wasn't mentioned in the minutes?
The minutes, that's pretty much what we left off.
Okay, cool. Okay, I think that's everything we have for subcommittee reports. We can move on to our action item, which is the resolution regarding the Hudson River Community Sailing and their programming. HRCES.
Yes.
And their programming that they are pursuing on the West Harlem piers. They did Robert Burt presentation at last month's meeting. But we're very lucky we have made here to answer any other questions. Yeah.
So I'm happy to speak on everything I can and anything else I can think of.
I think he also gave a presentation at the general board meeting, right? Oh.
Yeah, he gave a presentation to the executive committee, I was told to come to the subgroup because
Yeah.
we didn't know this existed and came.
Perfect. Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Basically, the status they did a month ago, we have met with EDC. As you all probably know, there's a lot of like, oh, we love to make this happen, and then do a ton of follow-ups. So we're hoping that this resolution, if it's passed, will help. We can go to EDC and to Columbia and partners in the neighborhood and say, the community board supports this. We have interest among all these different people we've talked to, and we'd love to see the city move this forward.
Right.
Would you mind really quickly spelling out
Yeah.
what you're asking for from EDC?
Yeah, for sure. So EDC is the landowner. Yes, I think they manage the West Harlem piers and then the landowner. You would know this. Yeah, it is. Parks and Rec. We are asking EDC for a floating dock and to support our installation of moorings, so permanent anchors to hold our sailboats. EDC is supporting us applying for the mooring permit, which we have to do through DEC, Army Corps, and then SBS, which is kind of the part that takes the longest. We did start that application. We shared it with EDC. We're waiting for their feedback. The floating dock is the bigger infrastructure and expense. And honestly, if there's no dock, the moorings we won't be able to do anything with. That seems like it's multifaceted because they're also talking to Gary Johnson and the Harlem Rocket group about their needs for this season. I think Robert talked to Gary this week and he has a meeting with EDC next week. While it initially seemed like we might be able to operate in a limited way there this year, it doesn't seem like that's realistic given how long the permitting takes for the permits. So we're working on moorings 2027. Even that, I think it's gonna take a lot of work this year to make it happen. But if Harlem Rocket works with EDC and they put in a floating dock this year, we would love to do a few community activation days where maybe come to an event, kind of do these expos and work with neighborhood groups, even if, we have to come up for the day and go back down at the end of the day. But I think that it seems like, you all may have a better update than me, but it seems like that's what they're trying to, Harlem Rockets working with EDC to figure out, is if they're gonna have a float down this season. And if they do.
Have they given you the specific person at EDC that works with the Harlem Pier?
We've been talking to Max Taffet and
Okay.
2 people at Doc NYC that work with him, so I think yes.
Try it, because if you have 2, 3, you have nobody.
Yeah,
So like it is.
yeah,
You need to get that one person
yeah.
that is dealing with this. Now, I believe this rocket, if it's what I can remember, I gotta go back, had come to the board
Yes.
and we said no, because it took away the air.
Yeah, but they,
Has it changed much?
they.
Okay, because all I remember is the
They
no
were
vote.
operating out of Dykeman last year
Yes.
where we were, and so we got to know them. And they're also interested in employing young people and doing maritime careers, which we're all about. And so they're displaced, as are we, but I guess it was always their goal to be here.
Yeah, so I wanted to just clarify,
Yeah.
because I know that in the email, you all wanted us to just do the reso and prove there is a system, a
Yeah,
process.
I would love
Yes.
to know more.
So it's just, coming here,
Mhm.
we approve the reso, it goes to the executive committee.
Right.
Great.
Executive committee approves, and then it goes to the general board.
Okay.
General board that, because you're asking for the board
Yeah.
approval, not
Right.
just.
Sorry, it's my first
No,
one.
it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's okay, it's
That
okay.
sounds great.
We all help each other to understand the process, Yeah,
And we've met with someone at Columbia's Public Affairs Office, Lofted Flowers Office.
Yeah.
And they're also interested in what we're doing.
Yes.
It's like, there's maybe some kind of commercial retail space in one of these buildings, in the business school that they may be able to rent out to like a nonprofit, but again, it's really all contingent on getting stuff in the water, so, yeah.
Do you know what Dyke Marina is gonna open up again?
Their plan is 2028. But 79th Street Boat Basin has been closed for 5 years and construction hasn't started, so, we're hoping it's not something like that. I think it's a much simpler project, but it's supposed to be closed for 2 years. But our plan, if we're able to come to Harlem, would be to stay here. It would not be only to come for 2 years, you know, we wanna come down roots and work with schools, and work with residents, and, we believe it's like a really great fit for our mission and, you know, getting young people and adults, seniors, people with disabilities on the water and, you know, there's, as you all mentioned, there's very little maritime access to all the west side, so we love to help be a part
How
of
many
that.
young people total would you guys be looking to like
Yeah,
full capacity?
so we have a year-round youth development program that works at public schools. Students get the program for free. Right now, the 250 students in that program from 6th to 12th grade, and actually 2 of the schools we work with, Kip and Hamilton and Grange, are in Harlem, so they were coming from a few blocks from here up to Dykeman. So I think when we started, our plan would be to continue the work we're doing with those schools, and as we expanded, we'd love to be able to add schools and work with neighborhood associations. But we also do a summer camp that is open to students from around the city. We do like one-off, kind of 1 day or 1 week programs.
Can't book it.
So right now we're down, we have 2 locations. Dykeman right now is closed, so it was up in Inwood. So this year we're only 1 location in Chelsea at Pier 66. So we're in Chelsea Piers.
And is it for only students in that specific?
So the way that we're structured right now is all the Chelsea schools are within walking distance, and they're all schools that serve a Title I population, so students who qualify for free or reduced lunch. The idea is students who wouldn't be able to afford it, otherwise have access, and getting them, helping break down barriers. The Inwood schools, because some of them in Harlem, some of them are in Inwood, some are in the Bronx. It basically, it has to do with whether they're serving a high needs population and whether the schools can commit to getting students there. So some of them take the subway or buses.
I think Michael has a question.
And I brought some on
online.
pagers if you guys want. Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead, Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. How are you?
Hi.
I bet you this was probably discussed before, but I'm new to it. So, you know, whatever happened to the little floating pier that it was already there, that was built there?
My understanding of this is kind of beyond my scope, but I may have this wrong. But you mean the floating kayak launch
Yes,
that
yeah.
was at like
Yes.
1:30?
Yes, yes.
Apparently that was destroyed in a storm.
When, they didn't tell us, cause I know that's supposed to be there.
It's there, but it doesn't, the dock is kind of sunken. And that would work for us anyway, because it's too shallow.
No.
But for the
We're dealing
kayakers.
with the pier.
Yeah.
So that piece of property needs attention, is what you're telling me, to get it built back up.
That's my understanding.
Okay, let's.
But I would
not-
ask Parks and Rec.
No,
but
because
that's-
I remember the people who used to go down there and vote and actually be able to vote. And then unused funds that came from the gentleman that was. I'm sorry, say it again.
Okay, unused funds from where?
The guy who's, I think, now head of, who is now head of the city, he gave money for that.
Marketing?
Right,
Oh, no, oh.
But there
you
was
say private city?
specific funding to build that back up. I
Yeah.
remember that very clearly. But it came from whoever was in charge of the city,
What-
wasn't the state in there.
Walter,
Yes, sir.
Walter South, who was a very long-standing member of Community Board 9, very integral in the creation of the 197A plan, Harlem Piers, and economic development, as well as housing, who regrettably passed away during COVID, was probably the singular community board member, perhaps along with Merida Dunn, who is in this room, who's responsible for putting that little kayak pier there.
Yeah, I know it was funded, that's it, yeah. It was funded, so we need
So
to
the
go back and
access,
find
there's
it.
access to a floating pier there, except I see that the floating pier is turned over on itself. And,
Yeah, and
I'm sorry, go ahead.
See, and then there's another pier that's nearer to the land when you're coming down, and the gentleman, I forget who it was, with the people with the wheelchair or something. And I said that would be the best pair for them, because they didn't have to go that far down.
Yeah, that's something
Right
what we
before you
do
reach.
is accessible sailing for people with disabilities. And
Yeah.
that would be great up here because there's not, you know, in Chelsea, there's a
Well,
ton of
that
ferry
here
traffic, there's
It's
not here.
easier to reach.
Yeah,
Especially if you have any mobility thing,
Yeah.
it's easier to reach, and it doesn't take up the space that the regular pair, when they have the summer events.
Yeah.
It doesn't touch that at all, it's
Yeah.
all the way on the side.
Yeah, I mean, this part of the neighborhood is generally like not super wheelchair accessible because of
Yeah.
how it slopes
Yeah.
and
chairs.
Yeah.
But a lot of our people take accessor rides here and it's very accessible from the road, which is huge.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If the West Harlem Piers is not only easy to reach, it's easy to be on.
Yeah.
It's very, very straight.
It's an
There's
ideal
nothing-
site. in a lot
Right,
of
there's
ways.
something there.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you something, because I built it, that's why.
Yeah, I know, I've read about you. That's why I asked your name. I was like, you're in all the literature.
All about the piers.
So yeah, basically, we're working on applying for mooring permits, looking for EDC to install floating docks.
Yeah.
Once we know that's happening, everything else we're confident we can figure out,
Okay.
but those are really the things.
Okay, so the reso is here. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Just do folks have any edits make regarding the reso? Questions?
Take a look.
Yeah, all those in favor of adopting the resolution? Second.
Okay, and then,
All those,
how many? 1, 2, 3, 4? 1, 2, 3,
Is everyone-
4. Unanimous.
is that,
Write down the number.
was that everybody? With their hands raised? Okay, of
Thank you for your support.
course.
But yeah, and we're very open to any feedback, if there's stuff we haven't thought of talking to people for.
If I can apply, if I can,
Yes, ma'am.
The pier from the other upstate, remember they said they were working up there and they brought it down to us, I think. The last thing that we,
And we're working on it, but they have not brought anything down here, you know, we are always the stepchild.
so they had, I thought they moved what their things were here while they were working on the.
Oh, yes, this is us. So Parks, New York City Parks, which manages Dykeman Marina, did give the old floating docks to EDC because they're getting a new dock system and EDC is storing them right now. EDC, we would love to have them put here, but I think it would require their approval and permitting. So they have floating dock infrastructure that.
But, so, are they here, because there was a whole, Joyce, you know, there was a whole big thing when they moved all the stuff from Ward's thing to here. And I know I was there, I saw, and they went all out into, but yeah, but right off of the edge of the. when
Oh,
you
maybe
go
this is something different than, I don't know.
At the edge, when you get, okay, you know where, what's the big boat?
The big lander?
Yeah, the other side of the Bay Land, there, that whole that just came, that whole orange piece, and it came from the other board. And the understanding was, I didn't know it was supposed to be permanent, that's why I'm asking you all what's going on, how, you know.
Are you saying there's a floating structure there now?
What's it? It's an area, that would more, not so much a structure.
I
I
haven't
know,
been
everybody
there,
was there, weren't you?
I haven't been there lately, I think.
No, and you weren't there when they did it?
No.
Okay, so you don't know either what I'm
No.
talking about, okay.
No.
Okay.
We could ask folks at the, like, exec or the general board
I
if
don't
they've
know.
seen it, like, Victor's probably been there in the last.
Well,
2 weeks.
I'm sorry, are you asking if other boats dock there?
No,
No,
No, I think we're just, yeah, someone's
Okay.
next to it.
Last week and I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
yeah, there's nothing.
They can get a permission to vote there, that's what we do, so they don't run into each other. And the marine transfer station, we're not discussing that no more?
That's, part of the.
I don't think they.
Yeah, we have old business.
To
We
make the
can
noise
figure it out.
Did
Yeah.
you read about that?
from how long I had that money there waiting.
You read about it when?
I just saw it
It's a
online. I just did a lot of research about the site and I saw there were,
Oh.
you know, proposals a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
To,
Oh, yeah, well, with Miss Marina, with the subcommittees that we have, right? They are going to help to zero in on these issues, like the Holland Piers, the whole purpose is to zero,
Yeah.
zero in on issues. Of the transfer station, the.
Which I don't think I have that money no more from that proposal, because it's the first season that they did not personally send me a present for Christmas, the people with the money for that. So I don't know if they're still interested in dealing anymore, so.
They'll be fine.
Guys, did
Money's
you
gonna
are
be
you
rolling in soon.
are you folks aware that the Marine transfer station had a walkthrough with Congressman Espaillat and Sean Abreu last week?
When?
Last week?
When?
Last
When?
week? Oh, I think maybe it was Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of last week.
Really?
Oh, yeah?
And we
Yeah.
had a-
I did see Michael, I did see a video online of
Yeah.
them walking the transfer station there, yeah.
But Michael, we need to speak with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Once they found-
Definitely.
very true, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
if Congressman is getting involved, I think there's the contemplation of federal funds.
Yeah, but why?
We
What
need
are
to
they,
speak
what
with
are they
them.
planning with it?
Well,
What are they
that's a
using?
good question.
We need to
Hello?
speak with them. We need to speak with
Because
them.
I know the plan we had that was
Exactly.
well approved,
Yeah.
so what is the plan that they, right?
Uh-huh.
And how come they didn't invite none of the?
Us.
Yeah, we can bring this up.
Yeah, and then we need to call the office
Yeah,
Yes,
and, you know,
and
inquire.
speak to the director.
Yeah.
They don't want me to call.
Talk to Sean. Talk to the congressman.
Should do legal.
Yes, if we don't get, you're right, if we don't get the proper response
So
from
we're
first
going to
going to
carry
them,
this
then
to
we'll
the
go
next
to them.
meeting. Great.
Don't put them in first, give a chance.
The general meeting, you might want to come.
We should go to that one.
Yes,
We'll have
yes,
to go to the executive. Okay.
yeah,
Right.
I think that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to-
General board, yeah.
General
How
board.
was that?
So general board, you might just ask for public, what's it called?
I'll have like a
small-
3-minute slot,
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's on April 16th at 6:30,
just to talk about it briefly.
and it's at the ball.
So you contact the office.
Right.
Sorry, what's up?
So she can be good, she can sign you for that, can.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, just go to the next office,
Yes.
yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Anything else on HRCS and the Reza? Okay. Okay, we're gonna move to old business. Do folks have anything that they want to provide an update on? Anything that they want to talk about that we've talked about at previous meetings? Just want to give a quick update on the clinic. Just to say, we sort of teamed up with a legal clinic that exists at Columbia at the law school. A professor who has a set of students that provide legal services to small businesses and need help with like corporation and a bunch of other things.
Just general.
Just general stuff.
Yeah.
That is up and running, and we've been in touch with Jennifer and some of the other folks about getting it out. The tricky thing around this is that the semester will end in May, so we only have about 3 weeks where folks can access the clinic. It'll pick back up again in September, so we'll have it there in September again. But you know, the summer it won't really be available. So we've reached out to a lot of folks just by email, sent them like a flyer that we have of the clinic
Okay.
with the QR code to sign up. But if,
To members?
yeah, you've just sent it to the whole.
We'll modify some of the small business, could it just be some. Once they started business, good, they know,
Yeah.
they have already have it established.
I think as long as you're not a big corporation, I don't know exactly how they separate the two, but we've advertised this for like small businesses that have like storefronts, things like that. Yeah.
Do you advertise it in the newsletter as well?
We sent it through, so Youth has sent it out through the Community Board 9 like email list. And we had the flyers at the general board meeting, so folks access it there. If you have any other ideas for how we could get it out, we talked to Jennifer, we talked to folks at the West Harlem Development Corporation, a few other places that I'm blanking on right now. But it's
Can we get to see some? I can't do
Yeah.
it physically, what I'm mentally trying to get my head straight on, but back in the day, we used to physically go on a Saturday.
We talked about doing that,
We
yeah.
used to go
Yeah.
every single Saturday, we would meet at 135th Street in Broadway and start. And I don't know what we had little arm things that said, so they knew who we were, and go into each of the smaller stores and speak to them and let them know.
That's a really good idea, yeah,
We used to do that.
we talked about doing it, I think
Yeah.
ultimately we didn't have
Yeah,
like.
it was a set
has to
thing,
be,
every
yeah.
Saturday, 10 to 2 on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Those
Those got in the way.
There hasn't been 2 contests.
Yeah,
There's something that we can do in
Yeah.
September.
I think that'd be great for September, we, just have like Spanish flyers, English flyers, just go any other language, yeah.
Well,
And once they see you and they know, because it isn't like they saw us once, they saw us this Saturday, they see us the next Saturday,
Yeah.
it wasn't like a one-time deal.
Exactly.
So any problems they had, any thoughts they had, we could answer, or we said, we
Okay,
didn't check, we didn't know, wow, thank you, that whole, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was Broadway, we never got to Amsterdam, but we should have, we didn't get there.
Okay,
Mhm.
great.
Okay, anything else? Cause I'm hungry. Like.
Michael.
I think that's everything for old business, unless anyone has anything else. Okay. Any new business? Okay, take a motion to adjourn, would be in order at this time.
In the absence of any other matters, I move a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Any second? Alright, so moved.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
guys.
Thank you all so much.
See you at the end of-
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Michael.
Hablamos, chaito.
Yeah.
So you're advising
Thank
us
you so much.
the resolution, and we know it's something that we would then bring the text of to the CDC or.
I'm sorry, start over.
So
again.
if we get a resolution.
If you get a resolution,
Organizations.
I mean, this resolution.
Yeah, if you get